Well, guys, I never thought we'd make it, but we made it. 1,100 subscribers. Wow. It seems like only yesterday I was asking you guys for 700. Now we're up to 1,100. This is incredible. I gotta thank all you supporters out there who have put my name out there. Every single one of you who has come to my channel looking for stuff to like, looking for stuff to love. And I only hope that I can meet your guys' expectations not only today, but perhaps for the rest of all eternity. Because honestly, sometimes I think you guys are too good for me. But as you can see here, we're playing Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U this time around. I figured there's really no better way to do anything than, you know, fighting in Super Smash Bros. So why the hell not? Let us fight in Super Smash Bros. I always have fun fighting in Super Smash Bros. You guys get the drill. But as you guys would recall, as it is with all the odd-numbered subscriber 100 things I get to, I do a Q&A session. From this point on, however, I feel like I have to do... I'm gonna do one every 100, because if you guys don't recall, the last time I said, we'll do something for this 100, something different for this 100, things have changed around here that are preventing me from doing what I want to do with that. Other than Pokemon Black Blind, which is still out now, which was one of them if I could hit 1,000 subs. Which I did thanks to you guys, but, as usual, I have my 1,100 Q&A subscriber session questions here. I got 12 questions. Let's see, we got 2 anonymouses. We got a question from Nick, 2 questions from Alley Girl, and 3 questions from GreatBuy789 and Mark Leota. So 12 questions in total. I hope to be able to entertain you guys with my fighting skills while I answer these questions to the best of my ability. Let us begin with number 1 as I kick the living crap out of these Miis. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this, son! Alright, the first question is from Mark Leota. And his question is, have you ever played the Disney Seen It DVD/board game? And to answer that question, yes I have. As it happens, one Christmas, I think it was when I was about 10 or 11, I got 3 Disney Seen It. I got 3 Seen It games to play with my family because, again, my mom didn't want to have that many video games in her house, and if anything, she wanted them to be educational or fun for the family. Which is actually why she's actually helping me, like, double my research and double my efforts in finding Fortune Street, because she wants to play, like, Monopoly, and we have Monopoly, it's just that if we call it something else, everyone will play it. If we just call it Monopoly, everyone's like, no, you can't play it. But yeah, I got Disney Seen It, I got Star Wars Seen It, unless it was Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. I don't know. One or the other. And then Lord of the Rings Seen It, which all of those I got and I played. Disney Seen It, I may still have the DVD. I don't have the board game anymore. It's very fun. Some of the things I will admit are not the best. And there I go. I just blew up. Because Nappa is not having his day. Anyway, basically... Stinking bastard. Basically, I have had fun with the game. It's a very fun game for the Disney fans. It's actually a better trivia game thing than Think Fast. So if you want to play Disney Seen It and you can find it, I endorse you buying it, really. That's pretty much it. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This is from GreatBuy789. And he asks, besides the N64, what is your favorite retro game system? Ooh, that's a tough one. It really depends on what we consider retro now. Is retro only up to the 90s, or is retro can go back to the 4th gen where you had oh, wait, was it the 5th gen? I don't remember. I think the 5th gen was the Wii, the 360, and the PS3, and the 4th gen was the GameCube. But then again, that could be wrong. So I'd rather not be totally wrong. If we're going into the generation with the Xbox, the GameCube, and the PS2, I would have to go with the PlayStation 2 because honestly, there were a couple of things I had always wanted with the original PlayStation, which we did have as a family. And oh, I just think Dee hates me now because I just sucker punched her out of the tournament, well, out of the fight, not the tournament. Oh, I missed that punch. But anyway, the way I see it, PlayStation 2 had a lot of my favorite games in it. Like growing up, it had a lot of my favorite games in it. It had obviously Kingdom Hearts. You had Star Wars Battlefront 2. I gotta be honest with you guys, I've never been a huge Xbox fan. Like, I appreciate what they do as a company, and I do like certain games they've come out with, but honestly, I prefer PlayStation or Sony or Nintendo products, because that's kind of how I've been raised. And never smash! Sorry, I had to do that. Had to do that at least once. Alright, let's move on to a regular 4v4, because that was a little too hectic for me. But yeah, if you're allowing me to use 2000 systems, it would be the PS2. If not, and I have to pick something that came out in the 90s, that would be the Genesis. Honestly, the Genesis, to me, I grew up with... The Genesis was the first system I played. Then I think it was Super Nintendo, Game Boy, N64. You go past that. But obviously the N64 will always be my favorite, but the Sega Genesis was always one of those that I also held very close, because it was my first system. I had a lot of fun with it until we actually did find it in our storage bin. Not our storage garage, like, you know how they have those public storage things. We found it, and it just doesn't read my cartridges anymore. Like, I got like 5 cartridges from my local video game store when I found it, and it just doesn't read them anymore. So I have thought about getting it repaired. I honestly think it's ultimately just going to cost way too much money. So yeah. But anyway, it's still one of my favorite systems. I love it. I will always love it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see here, I am Shulk. Now, I do have to say something before I continue with this Q&A session. I have not beaten Xenoblade yet. And again, I wanted to go into the game blind, but I think it's a little impossible to do. I mean, I give mad props to people who go into RPGs blind. I just cannot do it. I know I did it with Pokemon, but guys, that's Pokemon. It's not like I was going into like the Stick of Truth blind, or it's not like I was going into Kingdom Hearts blind. And I give mad props to people who do, I give mad props to people who go into RPGs blind. Me, personally, I want to be able to do little bits of everything, so I'd rather not. But, getting back on track, though I have not beaten Xenoblade, I think I'm about 45% of the way through the game. To put it bluntly, it is better than in terms of story, in terms of characters, in terms of gameplay, it is better than every single RPG I have played apart from 4. Now, this could immediately change. You guys, I've played a lot of RPGs, so to have it better than only worse than 4 is saying a lot for the fact that I haven't even beaten the game yet. And the 4 that it is not better than are FF7, which I haven't played in years, FF10, which is obviously one of the best. Everybody loves FF10. Kingdom Hearts 2, and then Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Every other RPG I played, though, Xenoblade is better than. So I was originally going to make it a contest to be like, hey, you gotta be better than, you're not gonna be better than that. The ball's in your court, Nintendo. You gotta beat Kingdom Hearts. Well, they've beaten a fair amount of them in terms of gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of how much you can do in the world. I mean, there are so many side quests I've unlocked, and I'm barely halfway through the game. It's like, I may not even be halfway through the game. It's like crazy. Before I get off track, though, and start wasting a lot more time, because I do want to do some updating stuff at the back of the end of this video. If I can, I'll just do it in a separate video. Where's my boy Cloud? There he is. Speaking of FF7. Okay. Oh, speaking of FF7 again, this question is from Anonymous. What game from your childhood would you like to see remade? That's a good question. In essence, it would go for... I would have to go for a game that, while it is good, and like by good I mean really good, there are some things they could do to make it better. That's the only reason I think games should be remade. Like with the Pokemon remakes, I understand what they have to do. Some of them I don't understand. Like Super Mario 64 DS, while I really enjoy the game, is one remake I just don't understand how it's getting made. And Jesus, Bayonetta, she's got like combo potential for days. And there's just Ryu just standing there, shooting off his Street Fighter mouth. Shoryuken! Sorry. Every time he does that, I like frickin' piss my pants. Because all I think of is all the things that people have done for, for all the Street Fighter, I almost said Xenoblade, jeez. But if I had to pick a game from my childhood that I would like to see remade, the answer may surprise you. Because I'm going to go with Spyro the Dragon. And it's not that Spyro the Dragon was an awful game. It was a very fun game. I really enjoy Spyro. In fact, if I had an old PlayStation with a memory card, I would play it once a year because it is that fun a game. It can go along the lines with, Kingdom Hearts with stuff I just really enjoy playing because it is a fantastic game. I love it. But seeing as how far Spyro has fallen, and by fallen I mean I haven't played any like the more recent Spyro games, and I vowed I would never play Skylanders, so I will not. But yeah, if there was a game I would like to see remade, like even if it was for a PS4 HD reboot, oh god. Stinking Ryu. Anyway, if I had to pick a game, it would definitely be, it would definitely be, where was, oh, it would definitely be Spyro the Dragon. I love that game, and I would love to see what it would look like in like, HD graphics or something. Okay, on to question number 4. This is one of the ones I haven't read. I've read a few of these. I don't know all of them. Of all the characters in the series, who do you think will probably die in Kingdom Hearts 3? Wow. That's a toughie. That's a really toughie. If I had to say, I don't know. Common sense would dictate Lee, because he's a side character and probably of the 7 Guardians of Light, or at least the 7 rumored Guardians of Light, he's probably the most expendable. Dramatically speaking, I think it would have to be Sora or Kairi. Because if Kairi died, I think Sora would go apeshit. I think Sora would go absolutely fucking apeshit if Kairi died. Now, I don't think Kairi would die from a story sense, because the 7 Princesses of Heart are still needed, and Kairi is one of them. So I can't just say that that's a guarantee. And Sora has already been keyed in as one of the main characters for later Kingdom Hearts games, so I think he'll be fine. Terra is another one where it's like, okay, I think you're gonna die. You're gonna get the Darth Vader treatment where you finally turn back to being a good guy and you fix all your problems up, yada yada yada. I think Ven and Aqua will probably be safe. My gut, though, something in my gut is telling me Riku's time is come. Because the way I see it, Riku's story arc is complete already. I mean, he conquered the darkness in his heart, he became a Keyblade Master, and he reunited and rekindled his friendship with Sora and Kairi. So, in reality, I just don't see where Riku would continue, other than to fall into the line of like the Final Fantasy characters, where you're helpful, but you're not incredibly helpful. That's why my gut's telling me I have the sickening feeling in my heart that Riku's a goner. Alright, on to number 5. When did you first get into video games? Okay, this is from Mark Leota. I have there are a couple of things I could say about when I got into video games. You could say when you first started. You could say when you got your first game that was all your own. For me, I think it was around the time I was 10. Now, I still played video games, but I kept myself to the video games I liked. Like, I would basically play like 5 video games. I'd play Pokemon, I'd play Kingdom Hearts, I'd play not even all Mario games, I'd just play Super Mario 64, Super Smash Bros., and oddly enough, Backyard Baseball. Those were the only 5 games I would play. Like, that I remember that I would play. After I started to get my own systems and my parents started to give up on that whole our son should be a doctor, not a video game player dreams they had of mine. At least my mother. Don't really care what my father thinks at the moment. But anyway, it was around that time I got my first true systems. Like my GameCube. Like we had a family GameCube. The disc drive went. Well, not the disc drive went. Actually, part of the... You know that thing that holds the games in? Apparently, we'd been pressing it too hard or too often, and it kind of snapped off. So we had to get a new one. And this one was ultimately mine because no one else played it except me. But anyway. That's when I started to play games more often. Like, I would play all types of games. And that's when it started. Because I was like... Really? I hear about all these great... Oh, Jesus Christ! What the hell? Fly the right way? Oh, there you go. Good job. Nice little skull bash I got there. But anyway, yeah, it'd probably be around when at the time I was 10 or 11 and started getting my own systems. Because now, basically, all video game systems I have are ones I've bought or ones that the rest of the family just doesn't care about. So, yeah. Alright, move to number 6. This is from Great Buy. In the new Kingdom Hearts game, what classic Disney location would you like to see in the game and why? Well, I figure the Princess of Heart worlds are gonna be there. Castle of Dreams, which is Cinderella. The Dwarf Woodlands, which is Snow White. Enchanted Dominion, which is Sleeping Beauty. Wonderland, Beast's Castle, and Agrabah are probably all guarantees to be in there. I know a lot of people don't like Agrabah. I'm still a big fan of it. I love Agrabah. Those 6 are probably going to be in there. But if I had to pick a classic Disney world that I think needs representation in the Kingdom Hearts world, I can think of 2, but I'm only going to talk about one. seeing as how I could go in depth with both of them. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet with the one I pick, and that would be the Jungle Book. And I don't want to do the remake, because as much as the remake was very meh. There were things about it that were good, there were things about it that were really bad. I'd rather just go with the classic Jungle Book stuff. So, yeah, and the reason behind that is that the Jungle Book has been written out of 2 Kingdom Hearts games so far. It was written out of the first Kingdom Hearts game. The original Kingdom Hearts game, the Jungle Book, was one of the earliest worlds that was being planned for that game. Then it got replaced with the Lion King world, and then the Lion King world they had graphical problems with, so they ended up choosing the Tarzan world. Then the Jungle Book world was planned for Birth by Sleep, but it got cut out due to time. So, I think the Jungle Book is the one that deserves the most of an opportunity to appear in Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, they're already showing that Tangled is going to be in it, Big Hero 6 is going to be in it, Frozen, there's a very good chance it's going to be in it, same, maybe Zootopia. But if I had to pick one classic Disney world that is not a guarantee to appear, I'd pick the Jungle Book. Alright, let's see how long we're in the... Oh, wow, 21 minutes of recording already. And I don't have that much time today, so I'll have to speed up my answers. And judging from a lot of these questions, we don't have a lot of short answer questions coming up. Alright, for someone... this is from Alley Girl. For someone playing Pokemon XD for the first time, which of the evolutions should I pick? It depends on how well you are at Pokemon. If you're good at Pokemon, I would recommend you go with your gut feeling. Like, if you like Flareon, go with Flareon. If you like Vaporeon, go with Vaporeon. If you want to play the game the correct way, quote unquote, and use the right Pokemon, Jolteon is probably your best bet, because it can learn Thunder Wave very early in the game, thanks to the move teacher lady in Agate Village. Jolteon is definitely the best choice, but there are other electric types in the game should you not want to use it. I personally mix up who I am each time, and the most recent playthrough I have of that game, I'm Umbreon, and I've had a very, very strong team so far. So, as I debate myself what I'm going to use for that Let's Play, like, because it's obviously not coming soon because it's a Phase 3 game and I have to play Coliseum first. But if I were you, I would definitely pick Jolteon, because it's probably the easiest choice. Alright, question number 8 is from Anonymous. Oh, we got 3 questions from Anonymous. Never mind. I just looked at that. If you could... Oh, no, wait. That's not the right one. Here we go. Whatever happened to your planned LPs with Noble Panda? Decent question. You're gonna have to put that... You're gonna have to, bring that up with him. Because I have reached out this entire summer to him and I have not gotten one response, so... it's getting to the point where I'm starting to scout out some more, I don't want to say reliable because he is family, but more people who are more available for working with. So don't expect anything with him anytime soon because we've got a lot of things to do. And he's going to be starting school soon, so I'm not going to blame him for being like, oh, well, that's cool. And, oh, cool, Shadow the Hedgehog again. Yay. Oh, whatever. But anyway, that's pretty much it. There really isn't much else to say about that. I am cultivating partners, as you guys have said. The problems, of course, being that I don't have a lot of people in my area, and the one guy that is starting to do Let's Plays, he's a scrub, for lack of a better term, and he knows who he is. I love him, though. He's a good friend of mine. I'd like him to get some practice under his belt before we get anything going. Plus, I have to get a better mic because mine kinda can only record one person. Yay, I win! Okay, question number 9 is from Mark Leota. If not for video games, what kind of career would you want to have? Well, seeing as how I have a show called Author's Note on YouTube, if you guys haven't seen it yet, feel free to drop by. Encountered Mew for the first time. Yay. I'd like to be an author. Author has always been one of those big things I've always wanted to be in my life, and I really couldn't imagine me doing anything else. To put it bluntly, I just could not imagine doing anything else. That's just a thing with me. But with the Let's Plays, I really haven't had much of a problem with, so let's just make sure that this career doesn't change. Waka waka. Alright. Great Buy 789's last question is, if you could provide the voice of any Disney character, who would it be and why? Well, I have a few pretty good impersonations, but if you've watched my Kingdom Hearts videos, if you watch my Aladdin videos, you know pretty well that the best impersonation I can do is Jonathan Freeman, who voices Jafar. And in case you don't know, which you should, Jafar is the bad guy from Aladdin. Now, I'll see if I could get the inner gusto about me to get some Jafar going. Let's see. I've got to think of a good Jafar line. Let's see. Prince Ali is nothing more than that ragged urchin Aladdin. He has the lamp, Iago. But you are going to relieve him of it. Yeah, that laugh wasn't the best, but you guys get the point. Alright, question number 11 is from Anonymous. When do you plan on playing Xenoblade Chronicles? I'm assuming it meant Let's Play, so that's okay. If that is indeed the case, that you meant Let's Play, it is going to start after Kingdom Hearts Days, and it's going to take up the majority of 2017, because looking from all the Let's Plays of Xenoblade out there, the ones that are short or have episodes an hour long, and the ones that are long, like Chugga Conroy's, I think goes up to 120 episodes. And seeing as how I have to run three Let's Plays at a time, though I am thinking of dropping that number down to 2 after 2017 starts. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to start it in 2017 after Kingdom Hearts Days ends. That's pretty much it. Alright, and the last question is from Alley Girl. As I look at the clock, and we still have some time, I'll maybe be able to get a bit of updating in after all. What are your 5 favorite Pokemon and why? Ooh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. Sorry about that. Let's see. Number 5 would be Roserade. And that's because I had liked Roselia's design in Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire, but stat-wise, for me at least, it just wasn't up. It could not compare to Vileplume, who is the grass type I almost always use in that game if I didn't use Ludicolo, who I've also always had a fascination with because it's such a good Pokemon. And I've got Number Bombs! Number Bombs! But anyway. But yeah, Roserade for me, I used it the first time I played through Platinum. I didn't use it in Diamond and Pearl because Diamond and Pearl I started with Piplup, but then the game got corrupted and I had to start a new game. Oh god. Donkey Kong Hero, which is sort of like Guitar Hero, only not at all. But anyway, I started with Turtwig the next time I played through Diamond and Pearl, and I didn't really have a need to use another grass type on my team, and the only reason I would is if I wanted to use it as a poison type, and why do that when there are so many other good poison types in the game, like Crobat and Drapion, Toxicroak, things like that. So I didn't use it until Platinum came out, and that's when I started with Piplup again, and then I used Budew, and ultimately got Roserade by, I think after Iron Island is where you get the, or in Iron Island is where you get the Shiny Stone, and that was a fantastic get for me, and I love that Pokemon immensely ever since I started playing the game. Number 4, almost forgot how to count. Number 4 is Tauros. Now, Tauros is, I don't really think I have to say anything with regards to Tauros. It is the competitive demigod of, really. I don't really have to, I can't really get it into words just how phenomenal this Pokemon is. So, I mean, it has never let me down. Every time I have used Tauros, it has never let me down. Be it in Fire Red and Leaf Green, in the after game for Pokemon XD, or in Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Tauros has never let me down. So it's always been a Pokemon that I can rely on, and I'm not afraid to to say that. I mean, Tauros is a fantastic Pokemon. Were it not for overly practiced competitive players, I think Tauros is still one of, if not the best Pokemon for competitive battle ever. Like, really, it is. Number 3 is Espeon. Now, the reason I pick Espeon is because when I first played Crystal, I don't believe I had Gold and Silver. But the first time I played Crystal, I used Eevee, and I did not know Espeon and Umbreon existed. Now, I was not into the Pokemon anime. I honestly stopped watching, like, religiously after Ash lost in the Indigo League Finals, and then I stopped watching completely after Ash beat Gary, because, honestly, what's the point of... Wow, Moltres in a Pokeball, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just one of those, it was just one of those games that I just loved playing. But the big thing that I did not know they existed, and when Eevee evolved, because I was looking for the stones, because I was going to use Jolteon, and I was like, wait, what? Now I have this awesome Psychic type attacker? And I was like, oh my god, sign me up for that. And Espeon is. I believe out of all the Johto Pokemon, it has the highest special attack, so yeah, that goes for something. Number 2 is Arcanine. Again, Arcanine is just like Tauros. What can you say that hasn't already been said? I mean, Arcanine has, like Tauros, has never let me down. The best part about Arcanine for me personally is the fact that you can do just about anything with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, you can do literally anything with Arcanine and have it be a use for you on your team. I always end up using it as a mixed attacker. So I'll teach. So if I'm using it in Gen 3, I'll use moves like Double Edge and Flamethrower as a combination. But in more recent games, ever since it can learn the through tutoring, ever since it can learn Outrage through tutoring, I have turned Arcanine into one of the most lethal Pokemon I've ever had. And when I play Pokemon Showdown, you'll know it's always me because I'm always using Arcanine. It is one of my favorite, if not the personal favorite from Gen 1. Number 1 is Kingdra. Now remember this as a kid growing up. One of the few rumors I had heard about Gyarados was that it was supposed to be a water dragon type, but it never worked because in Gen 1, the only damaging dragon type move was Dragon Rage, and it only did a certain amount of damage. Now, picture me playing the second game, playing Crystal for the first time, and being told by my cousin Lewis that there was a Pokemon out there that was Water Dragon. It wasn't just Dragon flying like Dragonite had been. Kingdra. What can I say? I mean, when I first used Kingdra, and every strategy I've used Kingdra with so far, it has not failed me. Get out of my way, you stupid dog! Get out of the picture! No! Ah, damn. No, you don't. Anyway. But yeah, Kingdra, think about that. A Water Dragon type. Only weakness is Dragon, which is a very rare type in general. Now it's not, but anyway. A very rare type of... Snorlax, you traitor! Oh, well, but anyway. Snorlax... Kingdra, like I said, excellent Pokemon, great stats, and if I could use it in a playthrough, I would, but I don't because I have no one to trade with unless I use Heart Gold on the DS. But anyway, that is it. That is all the time I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Nintendo Man 64. Join me next time when we have another one of these. Until then, sayonara.